Hello everyone, this is Edward Benish again from the Pinellas Park Church of Christ, once again reminding you of our gospel meeting coming up this Friday, March 3rd, and running through March 5th. Friday we'll be meeting at 6 to have a dinner together, and then the message from the gospel we heard around 7 o'clock, and then the same on Saturday night. On Sunday we meet at 10 in the morning, and then at 11 we'll have a luncheon together, and then we will be meeting at 1:30 to kind of conclude our day as we talk about, Lord, I'm coming home. This is our 75th anniversary. It is our homecoming. It's the time of year when we invite all who've been associated with the congregation in the past to come back, at least for one session with us together, and once again be reminded of what it means to have that belonging. You see, we use that word home a lot. He ran home, or it's nothing to write home about, or there's no place like home, or home is where you hang your hat, or home is where the heart is, or all of these other things. But what does it really mean? What are we really talking about? At the heart of all of that slang and all of those usages of the word home is the idea of belonging to something. It's the idea of finding a place where you can connect. It's the idea of finding that place where you feel accepted, respected, and where you are allowed to be who you are as a person. Allowed to live, as we would say today, your best life. We know the world doesn't give us that a lot of times. The world can be a harsh place. It can be full of rejection. It can be full of a lack of acceptance. It can look at you and it can look down upon you with disdain and distrust. And yet it should be the case that in the family of God, that there's a belonging or a sense of connectedness where we're not only connected to a family, but we are connected to our God, our Creator. If you've never had that, I would encourage you to come out, join us at the Pinellas Park Church of Christ, not just for this gospel meeting, certainly for the gospel meeting beginning Friday, as we've said, but come out and see what family is all about. I'd like to read a passage to you. It's from Romans chapter 7. Beginning with verse 4, Paul says this. He says, "Likewise, my brothers, you also have died to the law through the body of Christ, so that you may belong to another, to him who has been raised from the dead, in order that we may bear fruit for God. For while we are living in the flesh, our sinful passions, aroused by the law, were at work in our members to bear fruit for death. But now we are released from the law, having died to that which held us captive. So we are served in the new way of the Spirit, and not in the old way of the written code." Paul, talking about the old law versus the new law, says some things here that are relevant to us. Namely, he says that we belong to another. Through that body of Christ, we are his, and we belong, and we are accepted. We are no longer aliens, as Paul would write to the Ephesians, but we are brought into that family. Where do you belong? Have you found that place of belonging? Why don't you come out Friday evening, 6 p.m. Join us in fellowship. We're located at 6045 Park Boulevard here in Pinellas Park. Won't you join us?